Hello everyone, this is Evan Petzold after the Detroit Tigers 4-3 loss to the Atlanta Braves on Wednesday, April 29th in the second of 3 games in this series at Truist Park. Let's go right to the 7th inning. Tarik Skubal scared everyone when it seemed like he had an arm injury. He put his glove on the ground, he shook out his left arm, and then he held his left elbow and kind of started to rub his arm a little bit, and Dylan Dingler comes out, AJ Hinch comes out, Kelly Rhodes comes out. So you have the catcher, the manager, and the assistant athletic trainer all out there around Skubal. And this was coming off a rough 24 hours where the Tigers lost Casey Mize and Javier Baez to injuries. We'll get to that shortly. Turns out Tarik Skubal was okay. AJ Hinch said he just felt some discomfort on the outside of his arm. Tarik Skubal said he didn't want to get into the specifics of what he was feeling. I asked him if it was a numbness or if it was a tingling feeling. He said he didn't want to get into any of that, but he said it just didn't feel right. But then he threw one practice pitch and everything felt okay. And he struck out the side in the 7th inning to finish his outing strong. And then after the game, he said his arm felt fine as well. So injury scare for Tarik Skubal, but he's A-okay. It's a 2.70 ERA through 7 starts. And for as much as has been made about Tarik Skubal struggling in the 3rd time through, he faced 6 batters the 3rd time through in the 6th inning and the 7th inning. He retired all of them. He shut down all 6 batters, including 4 by way of strikeout. So if anyone's worried about 3rd time troubles for Tarik Skubal, don't be, because he just showed you that he can take down what's been one of the best lineups in all of baseball, doing it the 3rd time through in the 6th and 7th inning to finish strong. Tarik Skubal, another solid start, but the Tigers, they were not able to capitalize on his strong finish. Tarik Skubal gave up 2 runs in the 1st inning, and then he shut down the Braves the rest of the way. The Tigers did take a 3-2 lead. They scored 2 runs in the 2nd inning, and then they scored 1 run in the 3rd inning to take the lead on a Riley Green home run. Riley Green continues to swing a hot bat. And then it was scoreless the rest of the way until the 9th inning when Kenley Jansen, he walked Ozzie Albies, the leadoff hitter, and that just put him in a tough spot. You got runners on base, something else to worry about. The walks will always come back to haunt you eventually, and it did this time for Kenley Jansen. Matt Olson steps to the plate, and what does he get? It's a middle cutter. I mean, it's just a cookie that he's able to take and drive out of the ballpark for a walk-off 2-run home run, and that was the game. The Tigers lost 4-3 on the Matt Olson walk-off home run off Kenley Jansen. Again, it was a middle cutter, a very hittable pitch to a hitter who, when you make a mistake, Matt Olson's going to hit the ball, and he's going to hit it a long way, and he did that against Kenley Jansen. This is the 2nd time in this road trip now that Kenley Jansen has given up a walk-off home run. He has blown 3 saves with the Tigers this season. It has not been a good stretch for Kenley, and I go back to the most recent homestand when he threw a ton of pitches in one outing, and I just wonder if he's a little bit tired, and that's why he's not been able to be as precise with his command. It's led to the walks, but it's also led to just too many pitches over the heart of the plate that hitters are able to do damage on. It was the same thing against the Cincinnati Reds when, threw a pitch and it was a middle sinker that time. This time it was a cutter. Last time it was a sinker. Both of them resulted in walk-off home runs. That's not what the Tigers want. And then you ask yourself, who else could be in the closer role? Maybe Will Vest. He's probably the most capable of sliding into that role if the Tigers eventually decide to move away from Kenley Jansen if these struggles continue. Kyle Finnegan, though, he can't be an answer for you right now because he played with fire in the 8th inning when he had back-to-back walks. And the walks, go look at Kyle Finnegan. It's been a really big issue for him this season, and he's been a guy who historically has thrown strikes. He hasn't been able to do it this year. And now he survived damage, so the ERA doesn't look as bad, but that's going to come back to haunt him as well if he doesn't get inside the strike zone. So when you look at these 3 high-leverage relievers, Kenley Jansen, Kyle Finnegan, Will Vest, who do you trust the most? It might be Will Vest, and he's had some struggles himself as of late. But the Tigers lost this one 4-3. They fall to 15-16 on the season through 31 games. They are now below 500. The Braves, meanwhile, improved to 22-9. One of the best teams in baseball. They continue to play extremely well, right up there with the Los Angeles Dodgers, among some other teams. But the Braves, they are right there, one of only a few teams above 20 wins so far this season. We also had some news before the game. Casey Mize, Javier Baez, both players land on the injured list. To replace them, the Tigers recalled Emmanuel De Jesus from AAA Toledo and Jace Young from AAA Toledo. So De Jesus replaces Mize. Jace Young, he replaces Javier Baez. This is a situation where Javi Baez, it is a significant right ankle sprain. I would expect him to miss more than just the minimum 10 days. This could be something that takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, maybe even more. Javi Baez, it sounds like he's going to be out for a while. Casey Mize, he's on the 15-day injured list, so he has to be out for at least 15 days. Javi Baez, 10-day injured list. Casey Mize, 15-day injured list. He'll miss at least 2 starts. It sounds like for his next start, which would be Sunday against the Texas Rangers, it's going to be a bullpen day for the Tigers. It seems to be the most likely scenario for the Tigers. They still have to make a decision on what they want to do. There are other options. They could call up somebody like a Sawyer Gibson-Long or a Ty Madden from AAA Toledo, but it seems more likely they're going to go with a bullpen game. And then maybe for the second start for Casey Mize that he's going to miss, maybe that's when they could reinsert Justin Verlander, who threw a bullpen today here, and he seems to be making progress, getting closer and closer to a return. Should be getting ready for a rehab assignment at some point in the near future. And then as for the Javi Baez situation with Jace Young being out, you have to think about Zach McKinstry. He is somebody who will be an option for the Tigers soon. He's going to start a rehab assignment in a couple of days. That should allow him to come back within the next 5, 6, 7 days, and he would just take Jace Young's spot, which is helpful for the Tigers because right now their only shortstop is Kevin McGonigal. Their backup shortstop is Hao-Yu Lee, so getting Zach McKinstry back is going to be huge for the Tigers, their defense, and to allow them to play Kevin McGonigal at third base if they want, and Zach McKinstry at shortstop if they want to go that route. Right now, Hao-Yu Lee is the backup shortstop. Let's hope we don't have to see him there at that position. But for more on the Casey Mize injury, the Javier Baez injury, let's go to manager AJ Hinch before Wednesday's game.
Yeah, I don't know severity just because, other than we got probably the most optimistic news we can get on Casey, that it's a grade 1, this was mild. But that coming off the hill and lower body injury, you're not going to have him make his start in 4 days, and that made it impossible to carry him. So hopefully that's a simple time heals that, and he'll continue with his arm movement and things like that. Javi's is a pretty significant ankle sprain, so I don't know what that means in terms of timeline, other than it's a minimum of 15 days. If he's back by then, that's great. If it takes longer, it's because of swelling and soreness, and he left here in a boot yesterday to protect it. He was moving around a little bit better today, but clearly not available to play today or in the coming days. So pretty big ankle sprain.
All right, that's going to do it. The Tigers are going to look to get back in the win column and avoid the series sweep in Thursday's game. They have left-hander Framber Valdez going for them in Thursday's finale. This is why they signed Framber Valdez. When the Tigers need a win, when they need someone to stop the bleeding and get an important win against a really good team, you want to have a guy you can turn to. They turned to Tarik Skubal. He got the job done, but his teammates didn't hold up their end of the bargain. This time, Thursday, Framber Valdez, he's going to have to do the same, and hopefully the Tigers will be able to back him up with a win because they need it after falling below 500.